veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
welcome in, guys. We are back for our coverage of Love and Marriage Huntsville. This is season 8, episode 2, and it's Martell All Interview. You guys probably know a little bit about that. What's going on with you, Miss Iffy?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great. We are having unseasonably warm weather here today in the Detroit metro area. We've got 82 degrees. What's it like over where you're at, over in London?
We last couple of days the weather's been very nice and sunny, but today has been very cloudy, and this evening it looks like it's going to rain and it's got a bit windy.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you can't have sunny days every day, right?
Exactly. I mean, this is the British weather.
The UK weather, right.
Exactly. We're very lucky if we've got 2 days on the road. The fact that we had, yeah, right. No, we're blessed.
Yeah, and it's heading into summer anyway. So we know the warmer days are coming. Like I said, we're already in the low 80s, so it's actually nice. It's went for a walk earlier today. It's nice and breezy and sunny, which is always, nice because it's sunny and then the breeze is giving you a little bit of a cool off, right? Yeah. So, hey guys, if you're in the chat, drop a hello, drop a thumbs up, smash that thumbs up. If you're over over on Miss Iffy's channel, definitely make sure you like and subscribe to her channel as well, right?
Yes, please do help me out, guys.
Yes, I was just telling her we got to get her to that big 100. So that she can get more benefits on her channel. She'll get a community tab where she can keep you guys posted as to what's going on and what videos she's going to do next. Miss Iffy, you like to do one of your shows that you recap is it 90 Day Fiance franchise?
Yes. So now's the new ones I'm going to start. I'm going to be recapping that Ultimatum South Africa.
Oh yeah, somebody mentioned that on yesterday when we did the Never Ever Mets recap with JR and I. Okay, so they're doing the Ultimatum in South Africa?
Yes, they've got 8, was it like 4 couples or was it 6?
Ooh,
really,
I don't know.
really, really
I haven't
good.
watched yet.
I haven't watched it, but the problem is what they did is that they've released all the episodes at once.
I hate that. I hate when shows, when networks do that, but that's still okay. I think they did that with another show that was really popular. Just do them one by one. You don't have to feel rushed because they uploaded all of them at the same time. If your fan base will follow you. And by the way, guys, Miss Iffy is absolutely hilarious on her channel. She is so hilarious and so personable. So definitely go over there and support her, as she is a up and coming YouTuber, and you want to be able to say that you were part of her day one crew, right?
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. No, but the reason why, because there hasn't been many reality African shows.
Right, yes.
And once it came out, episode 1 and 2, everybody was talking about it on Twitter and everything. And the fact that they released it basically after the weekend, it all died now. They had a great market opportunity to take it to the next level by releasing it bit by bit. But because they did it all at once.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, it was such a shame because I heard it's been amazing. So I can't wait to watch it and review it.
Okay, I can't wait for you to recap it too. But let's get back to Love and Marriage Huntsville. So we opened up this week's episode. We had Carlos King and Melody. We know Melody Rogers now has recovered her maiden name again, and they were at a live podcast event for Carlos, and Melody was his co-host slash guest. When up and lo and behold, Carlos invites in Sonny and Moses, Destiny's ex. What did you think about that? What did you think about him bringing them on and what they had to say? Because I don't know, Sonny seemed a little callous, but give me your thoughts, Miss Iffy.
Because they left us a cliff hanging last week, I expected a lot more from the opening of this scene. I've just found Sonny and Moses, just their storyline wasn't adding up. The dates, times was just all over the place. I felt like they weren't solid to answer any questions correctly.
Okay.
They were just making things up of the questions that they were asked.
Okay. Well, like for example, what did you think about so Sunny is basically trying to tell us that first of all, let her get it correct, and for us not to get it twisted, that she was not friends and she does not owe Destiny anything. And that Moses showed up. She made sure to let Carlos King know that Moses showed up for who he needed to show up for. That's why he was not at the reunion for Destiny. I thought there was a lot of shade in that statement. What did you make of that?
I mean, I kind of understand where she's coming from because they were just colleagues, from my understanding of what they're saying. And also Moses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There were colleagues. Okay.
There were colleagues. In my, from what I've seen and that they've shown us, it was just business. There was never personal relationship there.
Okay.
And also the fact that Moses was never in a relationship with Destiny.
I wonder, did Destiny know that though? Was she aware? Because that's what Moses was saying. He was like, well, we just see, that's what I'm talking about. These men, they just like to smash. They don't want no responsibilities or accountability, a lot of them. That's crazy. Like, but I will say this. I have to give it to Moses. I do kind of look at it this way. I don't know the ins and outs of their particular relationship. Was it you that was saying that you thought it might be what, a situation, something?
Yeah, I definitely think Destiny and Moses were having situationship.
Ah, okay.
And he did confirm. I mean, he might not said it in that way, but he did confirm it by saying that they've never broken up.
Yes.
And Sonny's saying that, by the way, he had other women until she came along.
Yes. And you know what I added to it? You know what I had to deduce myself? I said, well, that might be a good point, because when we stop and think about it, those 15 years, Destiny married LeBerick, had LeBerick's child, and got divorced somewhere in those 15 years. So clearly it sounds more like it's kind of like, if you're available and I'm available, we'll smash, we'll hang out, we'll go out for a date, or you can come over and we can Netflix and chill type of thing. So I think our modern dating is a lot of that very casualness.
And also, I like, what man is going to go in and let you go in and marry and have kid another man and then expect you to take you serious?
Right.
It does not happen. It might happen 1%, the chances, but you never hear that story. So I think Moses was just there to go in and smash and then be there and do his own thing.
He is kind of cute. I thought Moses was kind of handsome. I was wondering what he would show up as, but he's kind of tall, chocolatey kind of guy. What did you think about this next ticker? Melody says that stealing someone's man may be a bit too hot for her, so she was throwing a little shade in the ring too. What did you think when she said that?
I actually find that funny. And also, one thing I really liked about Melanie, that she tried to keep it classy and not get involved this drama.
Yes, right. She did.
Yeah,
She
she
let
doesn't.
Carlos handle the shade.
Yeah, I think she's really. I might be wrong at but looks like she doesn't want no direct drama between her and Destiny,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's why she does not want to get involved. And also, I don't think she wants to associate herself with Sonny and Moses' situation as well.
Oh, hey there, Monique King. I did not see you. I was on the wrong side of the over here on StreamYard. Thanks. Hey, good to see you. Thumbs up. What she says, what Monique says, she's the enforcer over here. So good afternoon and like the video, right?
Yeah, good
and
afternoon. Good afternoon.
yeah, yeah. So you think that Melanie kind of tried to stay out of the drama and stay keep it cute and classy, huh?
Yeah, I think Melanie does not want to do anything to do with this, because if she gets involved, their storyline becomes Melanie's. Because I think most of them don't have a storyline about their actual personal life that's going on.
Good point. Good point. You're right about that. A lot of them do try to tag in on whatever Melody is doing and make that their storyline. And I think she's forcing people to have their own storyline.
Exactly, and we will talk about that later on when we talk about the last part with Kiki. You can see she
Yes.
finally wised up and
Yeah.
is
Yes.
washing her hands of these people.
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping that maybe Bravo is in her future soon, but we'll move forward. I see Moses. He is trying to give that timeline of who, what, when, where, why, what have you, and like you said, it just timeline is not really timelining too well. I love this line here. Melody says that it's all a bit gray for her, and she don't do gray. She says that's why she's wearing black and white. What did you make of that? When she said that, what did you make of that comment?
I was laughing, but also I think that was, again, that's her. She's putting her foot down to let these people know I've got nothing to do with this mess. Like,
Yeah.
I think this is her setting her boundaries. She could have,
Oh, setting those healthy boundaries. Okay, yeah, I can see that. That's an excellent point.
yeah. So, because obviously she was whole part of the podcast and one of the main reasons why everybody was there. But then once Carlos gave her a bit of this mess, she is standing there and saying, I'm just going to laugh about it, but nothing's coming out of my mouth because I want nothing to do with it.
Right. You know what? Sunny says this is as they were talking, I noticed that Sunny said that her marriage to Moses is rooted in love, God, and building wealth. I thought that was interesting. Did you did you read anything into that any deeper?
I'm going to be honest with you. As soon as I heard her talk about her marriage, I was like, I give it 12 months.
Ooh. Ooh, not the 12 months. Yeah, I'm wondering too. You got a good point, because here's my thing. I'm wondering if on the one hand, Sonny is busy telling us during this episode that Moses has so many women that actually Destiny was a side chick. Well, how did she figure herself into that? Like, she just jumped in with the other women, and how does that make her feel safe right now as the wife?
Exactly. And also, I felt like she was. I don't think she was thinking of what she was saying, because no respectful person who respects themselves will be saying that about their husband that they proudly married and that they're in love with, or he was HOE, but I turned him straight. I feel like in one hand she really like thinks that she actually turned him straight, and she thinks she's like proud to be this. But we all know how you get them is how you're going to lose them.
That's it. That's what Mama says. How you get them is how you lose them.
Yeah. And also she made that comment where she said, I think it was along line of when she was talking about their marriage is based this, and she was talking about in the conference, the back room, and she was saying how Destiny let the ball drop by focusing on her career, and that's how Moses slipped.
Oh yeah. Because she said right. She was basically pointing out right that Destiny didn't have enough time. Destiny was too busy going traveling, doing these autographing sessions or whatever they were, appearances. But I thought about it too. I said, well, yeah, but if she's producing and she's producing all over the country, she's going to have to travel. So now, how does she think that's going to work with Moses? Because Moses apparently, he can't wait for his wife to get back. So what's that going to look like?
Yeah, but also I'm sure she's, I might be wrong. She's in her 30s, right?
It looks like, yeah, I'm guessing 30s
right?
too. Yeah.
And early mid 30s. As a woman, she knows that she needed to build her career. So how are you going to criticize another woman who is going through a divorce, going through a custody, and trying to build a life for her child, to say, oh, you let the ball drop, and that's how I came. Basically, that's what that was my interpretation of how she's proudly saying it, which is actually very awful. And I don't think I think she's definitely the villain of the season.
Oh, good one. Yeah, I think you may be right about that. She may very well be the villain. We'll continue to watch. So you think that we're going to see more of Sonny and Moses probably?
Oh yes, and I think we definitely will, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see the real him and their real relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the next thing we see moving forward, we have Marceau and his brother Maurice Scott pay a visit to Martell. That's very interesting because when these three men get together, I'm always looking at them and thinking, are they all co-conspirators allegedly? Like, I pictured them in their past, in their maybe even recent past, hanging out like three guys and just kind of three guys in heat. And they're just kind of like with the other women, even though two of the three are married. And even back when Martell was married to Melody, I just pictured them hanging out and doing extramarital curricular activities. That's what I kind of picture and imagine. What do you think when you see these three guys together?
I see three men that haven't. I will actually know. I think Maurice is the wise one out of the three of them, and I have to give him a bit of credit. But the other two, I don't take them serious.
But now tell me this. Now, in what aspect, like why or where in what observation made you feel like you give Marceau? You said did you say Marceau or did you say Maurice?
Maurice.
Maurice, who's married to Kimmy. Okay, so what is it that you've seen Maurice do that makes you suspect that he might actually be a good man?
I think it was based on over the seasons when I've watched it, that he always was, how he looked after his son, how he looked after his stepson, how he always got involved, the relationship, and it's how he carries himself. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very much obviously peacemaker in everything he does. And he's very much make sure he's the head of not the head in that way, but like priorities, his family and everybody getting along. While his brother does the opposite. He's so childish, and him and that the other two are just, I can't even take them serious sometimes. Even with this episode and that scene, instead of talking to him as men and and giving him a proper advice, he was bad mouthing Melanie and her business, and that's not what a man really does if he cares.
How so? I'm sorry. I'm just looking at Monique King because she says that Maurice is actually the worst one of them all. Monique, drop down in the chat and give us like something that he's done that makes you feel that way. Because I'm kind of, I don't know. I want to be able to challenge Miss Iffy because I think that both the Scott's brothers, this is my take on them, right? And I admit, like someone told me last week when we did the first episode, you guys need to have watched it from the beginning. And I told him, I said, well, obviously, and I'll admit, I have not watched every episode from the very beginning. I've watched here and there. I know some things, but a lot of things I don't know. So that's where we need you as our viewers, as our supporters, to come in and fill in the blanks. But what I do get from Maurice and from Marceau is that they talk one way on the camera, in front of the camera. They're very aware that they're being filmed for the whole country to watch them, right? But what I do see is that it appears to be there's been some evidence, maybe not enough to convince Letitia, for example, or even Kimmy, but these two men, these two brothers, they feel like cheats to me. They feel like they're cheating on their wives, and they're having their cake and they're eating it too, and that they were doing that with Martell in the beginning. But
allegedly,
yes, thank you. Allegedly, that they were allegedly doing that with Martell. But one thing that's not alleged is that Martell does have and did have a baby outside of his marriage when he was married to Melody. So we know that. And I think the thing about it that these two gentlemen did differently is they probably covered up, they probably covered up, and they didn't have any children outside of, wedlock. So that's the thing where he got busted. So I think there's some resentment that even though these three guys were college buddies and friends, I think there's some resentment on Martell's end because these other two guys, the two brothers, they have their wives. They didn't have to go through a divorce. They didn't have to split up property. They didn't have to split up custody of the children. You see?
Oh no, but Maurice did on his first marriage.
Well, yeah, he was married before. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the ex-wife left him for his infidelity, allegedly. And I'm sure that was played on first season when I watched it. I watched at the beginning. I just haven't watched the last season. And he's a lot more clever, obviously. But Kimmy, again, is how you get them, is how you lose them.
Right.
And that's exactly how she got him.
Oh, that's right, because she's allegedly, she's to be been called a side chick even by Martell on the show. I have seen that, so that's interesting.
Even his ex-wife called him on the first season and the second season. That's what that marriage was about.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. Well, I don't know. It's kind of like the blind. I guess my point is it's kind of like these two brothers leading Martell. It's kind of reminds me of the blind leading the blind. Like, they're just telling him how to be politically correct, but it's not because they live in a life full of integrity and being with one woman and being faithful. I think it's just, them just talking. So I do kind of get Martell not being willing to listen and open up. But listen to this. They say that Martell is out of control because I don't know if you saw this, Miss Iffy, but Martell he did a whole interview. I think it was 2 hours long with the queen of the winos. That lady that's got that huge 1 million plus subscriber YouTube channel. You know her. I'm not going to say the name. Everybody knows who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever get a chance to watch it though?
No, I need to go and watch it.
Oh,
I
you have to
can't.
watch that. You have to watch that before next week's episode. You got to watch that because that's really what they were. That's what
He,
Martell and Marceau were talking about beyond
he,
anything. The fact that he got on her show and he hung out all the family's dirty laundry for everybody to hear and see.
he lowered himself when she's always taking the mick of him.
He did. He did. Well, you know what? The thing about Martell is, I feel like this is just my feeling. I feel like he is very envious of his ex-wife. I feel like he resents the fact that he thought that she was going to fail once their marriage ended, and it didn't. She didn't fail. She just actually rose even higher, like a phoenix, coming out of the ashes. Melody rose higher. She's traveling more. She's got more businesses, and she was always the brains behind the business because look at it. She was the one with the builder's license, not him.
And I also think between these three little musketeers, the problem is
I love that.
the problem is that the scapegoat was always Montel because obviously he didn't know how to keep his dirty secrets. So
No, not at all.
that's always, so these other guys always enjoyed that moment of him doing, and then them saying like cleaning their hands.
Mm-hmm. Do you
Is that?
believe? Mm-hmm.
And then I also think what it is that the Scots brothers were always making sure that he did something wrong. I secretly think they wanted to destroy their marriage because Melanie was in control of the business and everything else. She was the brain behind it. So
Oh, so you think that you think it might be possible that the Scots brothers actually wanted their marriage to fail?
oh yes, they're always there. If you watch season one and season two at the beginning, you see she was always the one that sat at the table when they were all trying to do business, and she was the one always reading the small print while these guys was trying to convince him whatever, and then he would
Right.
go home and try to have that discussion with her, and then she'd be like, "Absolutely no, these are the business agreement. I'm not going to do that." And I feel like they have a grudge, especially,
Oh,
yeah.
that makes sense because you do, at least I do as a viewer, I get the sense that these men are not men that respect women. They don't respect women as entrepreneurs, or they don't respect women having business savvy. And we've seen even with Marceau, we've seen him put down Nail, Fletcher, put down the fact that, oh, he didn't know that she owned successful daycare centers. He didn't know that she had this type of business and that type of business, that he thought that just her husband was the brains and the businessman in the family. So clearly these are guys that are very old school from the patriarchal side of society, and they really don't believe in women being savvy and business, being successful. So we see that in these two Southern men.
Nah, yeah, 100%. I mean, if you watch from the beginning, you will see they were always having a go. Even now in that scene, they were having a dig at her and her t-shirt line. And I thought, like, come on,
Yeah, would
come on.
you caught that too? They're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I thought that was hilarious when they compare Mel to our former POTUS. I was like, what? She's nothing like him. But they were like saying that people basically think that her poop doesn't stink. They're just gonna follow her no matter what she does, no matter what she says. And I totally disagree with that. I see a lot of people, whatever you want to call them, the millimeters or just male supporters. I don't consider myself necessarily a millimeter, but I like Mel. I like the way she moves thus far, and I don't have any problem supporting her because she is a Black woman and she's out here doing it, and she's now a single mom, no fault of her own, but thanks to the cheating husband that she had. So I don't mind supporting her. And I think there are a lot of Black women, a lot of women of all creeds and races and nationalities that will support her business because she's got some good business lines out there. You know, whether it be the T-shirts or whether it be her was it Seventh Avenue line of cosmetics. Let me see. It's on my
Yeah.
phone here. Hold on one second. Yeah, Seventh Avenue Beauty is her makeup line, so her skincare line. And if you notice, she's got beautiful gorgeous skin, so we can have skin like hers. Why not give it a shot?
Exactly. And also in this whole scene of, the way the two brothers were in the car going on about, let's go and pep talk and tell what this grown man is doing is wrong. And then for them to, I just didn't find it was genuine, because once they got there,
Hmm.
they start have doing a shades, and I was really disappointed with this scene, because when they were in the car, I really thought they were going to go and sit there, talk to him, and make him realize what he's doing is destroying his family, i.e. his kids, his
Yeah,
legacy.
he doesn't. I don't think, I agree with what you're saying in theory. I get what you're saying. I totally agree with you. However, from what I've observed of Martell, he will never get that what he does to his children's mother, his ex-wife Melody, he will never get or understand or empathize with how that affects his children, because we know he has these certain tendencies and traits to be self-centered. So if it doesn't affect him in a negative way, he feels like he can do and say whatever. Allegedly, he can just do whatever, and that's
Yeah.
kind of who he is. But wait a minute, let me ask you about this though before we get off of this scene. Um, what do you think about when Marceau said that when he was faced with divorce, he chose to stay married to Martell? What did you make of that? Because did Martell even have really a choice in staying married to Melody? I think that's where I think that kind of swung things in the wrong direction. Because what do you think? Tell me what you think.
I just think he's delusional. Like, she accepted so many years of dealing with his infidelity and everything else, that he didn't realize that she was serious. I think when a woman has enough is enough. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he had any choice at all.
Right. Right. Yeah, and that's I think right. I think that's Marceau though that was being a little deluded, or maybe even trying to rub it in. I'm not sure what Marceau was trying to do with that message when he said that, hey, I
I think
chose
he's
a
thinking
different
about his own marriage because he knows how to manipulate his wife.
Right, right. I get it. I get that he's saying he's speaking on his own marriage, but I guess what my point is, but why is he telling Martell that? Martell unfortunately didn't have the same option, because once Melody decided and she heard God say go, she went. She was like, I'm done with this. And then, in most states, you don't need both parties to agree to a divorce. You just need one person in the marriage to say, I want out of this contract. I want out of this blessed union, because it's no longer blessed. It's a horrific mess. And that's what she did. She said, I want out. And she said, God said go, and she went. I ain't mad at her.
But the problem is that um, Marcel's never, he's not a real friend. He's always there to tell him, I told you so. So him
Yeah.
saying that statement to me was like, oh, I told you you can't control your wife. It's just to remind him that he failed.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. That was definitely like a get back kind of line right there. A get back. Martell states that the Scots want him to be more like a lady at the end of the scene. They want him to be more which he finds funny, just like you did, because he says that's kind of odd, because Marceau is telling me to be more like a lady, but he's the one always going back and forth with folks on social media, just like a woman or like a female. And he says, and Martell says, furthermore, he's not open to it. Shut the hell up. He said, shut the hell up. Don't tell me what to do, like a little kid.
I know. Do you know he's funny sometimes, and I understand he never takes Scott brothers serious because he knows they don't have his best intention.
Yeah, they don't. They
That's
don't
it.
seem to. Not
Yeah,
really.
I think I give him a credit for that. He knows.
Oh, so you think he sees through their BS?
Oh no, I think he always saw, even though he might be a bit slow, like catching it on.
I think he is a little slow.
No, I think he saw it. He saw it, and he doesn't realize it. And also, is how he communicates. Even though they were telling him, the thing about whenever somebody gives him advice, instead of actually calming down and thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
he's he's that kid at school where you just tell him, "Oh, you can't do this," and then they're like, "Well, you can, so why can I not?" That's just his attitude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just who he is.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. So we move forward to the next scene. And next up, we got Stormy talking to Kiki about Kiki talking to the bloggers. Oh my goodness. Like everybody's on Kiki's arse this week. Everybody is on her arse. Like you got to do better, Kiki. All this going talking to these bloggers, these YouTubers, and you can't do that. Do you think Stormy is really giving genuine advice? Do you think that Stormy is coming to be the queen of maybe she's trying to become the queen of Love and Marriage Huntsville?
Well, if she is trying, I think she needs to find her own storyline. Don't think this is gonna
Mm.
work because everybody's on Kiki's storyline at the moment, except Mel. Everybody's on that same, and Destiny and Moses and think. But no, she's not. I don't think she. I think she might be trying, but if she is. She failed at this episode and the last episode because again she was still keep on talking about Kiki and this.
Well, let me ask you this: do you believe that it was Kiki that leaked the info to the bloggers about upcoming scenes and upcoming episodes, things that were supposed to be a surprise to us as viewers? Do you believe that it was Kiki that leaked it to the bloggers? Because sounds to me like in this scene, it looks like Kiki is trying to lay all the blame on her own mother. I'm like, who does that? Who blames their mom? And it's
Desperate
Mother's
people.
Day weekend. Like, protect the mothers. Can we protect the mothers for once? Mothers give us so much. Mothers sacrifice so much for their children. And this is the best Kiki can do is blame her mom.
Oh no, no. Honestly, I'm like I was just laughing about it. See,
Mm-hmm.
there's a saying: a desperate person will throw under the bus their own parents, and I feel like that's where she's at the moment.
Oh, desperate. Just kind of like very desperate. Yeah, that's a good point.
Very, very, very desperate. But however, my personal belief is: do I think she leaked it? I don't
Mm-hmm.
think so. She might have talked to people that she shouldn't have, that confined with friends or family, but I don't think she did leaked it personally. I think production did. This is what they do every year.
Oh, okay. Now that could be. That could be. But then, okay, so if it was production, how did Kiki go from knowing that maybe she blabbed some stuff to production and possibly they leaked it? How did she make the jump from production to her mom?
No, I don't think she's aware what's happening. I think she might have shared it with other people, and then
Oh,
the
like her mom.
storyline, the blame is being taken on because they might just planted it on her. From my experience, this is what they do every year. The argument and the things and whatever's happening behind the scene, it's been a castmate leaked it or somebody leaked it, and it's just to get everybody like excited and talk about it. That's my understanding. Because they never failed to not do this.
Oh, these ladies are cracking me up.
No, don't
Okay.
choose all, none of them. But they are funny though. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I would like I prefer Maurice because Kimmy thinks that she's so intelligent or whatever, and he's just like she's a doormat. Unfortunately, sorry.
Mm, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
She's
Hey,
an amazing woman. She's an amazing woman, but
mm,
there's something about the. I think. I mean, I prefer out of the two Scots. I prefer him. I prefer the older one. The older one is like I don't know.
that's Maurice, right? Maurice is the older one, the one that's married to Kimmy.
Yeah, I thought, but the other one looks older than him. Damn.
He does. He does. But I'm just looking. Wait a minute. I'm just looking here. Uh, my own LMV has betrayed me by liking Marceau. She says Marceau is her favorite, and she is not ashamed to let us know. Lord have mercy. But but up here in the comments, Monique says that Maurice is the oldest,
I don't
and
think
you
he
know what?
is.
I didn't know that. Yeah, because you're right. Marceau does look older than Maurice, and I think it's probably because of the extra weight he's carrying on his body. He's a little chunky. He's a little on the chunky side.
Or you mean the how many household he's got hiding under the table?
Ooh, child, I don't know.
Allegedly, allegedly, allegedly.
Allegedly, allegedly.
Oh
Oh,
my god, he's gonna come at me, isn't he now?
hey, hey, LMV, yeah, send that to me. Send that to me. Listen. Also, is that are they talking about who I think they're talking about? Are they talking about the is it
Ooh.
his initials are AL? Is it AL that we're thinking about? Because I'm not sure. Let me know. You guys are LMV and Monique. They're gonna get me caught up. They are gonna get me caught up in all areas where I'm deficient, or most areas where I'm deficient. Uh, yeah, Marceau, I can see that. He is more logical. And even though he is a donkey, I get his sense of humor. Okay. Okay. All right. All right. So anyway, let's continue on because we want to wrap this up. We don't want to be all day with you guys. And then you guys be sure to join us next week. We'll be back on our regular time on Sundays at 3:30. We'll be back at our regular time Sunday 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard, and I think what is that 8:30 UK time for you, right?
Yes.
Okay. Um, so let's see. Oh, we were talking about Kiki. The last couple of questions I wanted to ask real quickly here. We're not going to belabor the point. Do you think, as briefly as possible, do you think Kiki took accountability for herself, or what do you
Um,
think?
n- no, not when she was talking to Stormy, and
Hmm.
also not when, and I think you might be, not when she was talking to Mel either.
We're on the stormy one right now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, no, I don't think so. But to be honest with you, if I was Kiki, I wouldn't take, I don't think Stormy's there for her genuinely. So I wouldn't.
Oh, okay. So
I,
no need to throw yourself under the bus. What about this?
exactly.
What about this question, Miss Iffy? Do you think that Kiki and Letitia can mend their relationship this season?
No, I don't think. I don't think neither of them have a storyline other than the blog and what happened in the past,
Mm.
and they're just gonna go in and dwell on the same thing again and again. I don't even
Oh,
think they will be in the same room. I'll be surprised to see if they attend the same event.
okay. Okay. So on the next scene, we've got Sunny comes in and joins Kimmy and Letitia Scott at looks like a nice little internet cafe. They're shooting outside the house now, outside the homes. And Sunny is she's doubling down. She's putting, what is it, 20 on 10? Because she's letting us know that, like you said, that Destiny and I were just colleagues. We weren't really like that tight, basically. And I got my man, I got my ring, and I's the wifey now. I's married. That's how she letting them know. Kimmy asked Sonny if it's true about her and Moses hooking up, and that's when she's doubling down on it. Like I said, Tisha says that what happened is trifling. Do you think it broke girl code, Miss Iffy? Do you think Sonny broke girl code?
Um, I mean, I don't think much of her as a person anyway, so far from what she's thinking, and it's not to my standard. But I don't think she. I mean, I don't think she broke the girl code between the based on what so far I'm seeing in the relationship. It turns out they don't have a friendship. Obviously, morally, for me, I don't think I would ever be able to date somebody that I know a colleague dated. So yeah, I don't think it broke their girls' code and their morals and their understanding, but it is for me personally.
Okay, so kind of sort of is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Somewhat. Okay.
I think
Okay.
somewhat. Especially watching this episode, yeah, I'll say she broke the girl code for
I
sure.
think so too, to be honest. I think that while Sonny's probably correct, they were never really truly friends. I don't think, to your point though, I don't think I want to date and not even try to marry a colleague's ex or a colleague's current, because I would be concerned, like you said, like my mom used to always tell me that how you get them is how you keep them. So
Yeah,
I, I wouldn't want him, just to be honest. There are billions and billions of men out there on the earth. So why this particular one, I do not know.
and also I would understand, say for example, if she wasn't aware that they had, I don't, whether it was situation or whatever, she was aware that they were intimate, and
Hmm.
that should be full stop where it should across her mind morally there is no way she should have gone. And if
Mm,
she did, maybe wait for 5 years down the line.
okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like that. Something like
Yeah.
that.
If somebody
Um,
reconnects 5 years down the line or whatever years down the line, fine, I understand. Do you know what I mean? Everybody got over it and moved on with their life, but not straight away.
okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. In the next scene, we see Mel working on her choreography when Kiki meets up with her. And Kiki, once again, is trying to explain herself about this whole talking to the bloggers thing. So Mel says, go ahead, have your piece. I want to hear what you got to say. Uh, Kiki, we basically hear Kiki giving the same old stuff that we already heard when she talked with Stormy. Um, Destiny says, Um, you know what? I don't think I can trust you anymore. I don't feel like you are a genuine person, and I've done everything for you that I could do. I helped to try to make people see that you were no longer using drugs. I did this for you. I tried to help you get a book deal. And all that, she kind of enumerates a number of things that she's done to try to help Kiki uh, be on the top, right? But Kiki doesn't seem to be able to talk to her straightforward and honestly. And then one of the things I thought Mel really hit a good point home is that, why did you let it go for months? I had to find this out on the blogs, that you were talking about our scenes, that you were giving advanced information, that you were spilling all this tea. Um, why did I have to find this out from the blogs? If you really genuinely regretted you did it after the fact, why didn't you call me directly and say, this is what I did and I'm apologizing? Why now do you come back when the season restarts? It almost seems like you just wait to film a scene to tell me the dirt. What did you think of that, Miss Iffy?
I mean, first of all, what I really, really liked about this scene is that how Mel set, like I said earlier on, she set her boundaries. As soon as she walked in and said, let's talk, she was like, actually, do you know what? You can have the floor. I want to hear what you have to say. Which shows that she obviously heard what everybody else has been saying, and around the blogs and everything. And she was like, you know what, let me give you an opportunity for you to do the talking. And I really found that was great of her way to set her boundaries and to set like the tone of the conversation. And I'm really glad that she actually told her how she was feeling, and to let her know and remind her that she tried to help her to do everything, and that unfortunately she couldn't help herself but to fail. And in order to fail, she took everybody else down with her. And the fact that Mel looked at that and said, you know what, you could have ruined my career. This is how I feed my kids these shows. And you basically try to, you know, piss on me. Sorry, I'm not even sure if I can say that word.
Yeah, it's fine. That's fine. Yeah, no, I mean, you're right. I mean, when you start taking money out of my pocket, and I'm trying to feed my family, my young, I mean, that lady's got 4, count them, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 minor children in the home that she is responsible for, because Lord knows Martell is not doing very much for his own children over there. So she has to feed those kids. She has to educate those children. She's got to prepare for them, maybe probably going off to college like she did, her and her brother, both have their degrees. So all of those things cost money, dineros, ducats, So yeah, it's like Kiki was trying to take money off the table for her. So I really get that Mel would be very angry. I didn't understand why, like Kiki, she basically apologized, but then she said that she felt slighted and that these things are being blown out of proportion. See, to me, once again, Kiki kind of wants to be in the scene enough to be in the scene, but she doesn't really want to be authentic, remorseful, and apologetic truly by accepting accountability for what she did. That's the way I'm looking at it. Like, I don't know. Kiki is not a good person to have for a friend. She's not reliable, I don't think. Do you think she's reliable?
No, she's not reliable. And I think also she doesn't understand. I think maybe it's to do with her past and her trauma and her life that I don't think she ever met somebody like Mel who was trying to help her out and to get her to do all these things that she promised to help her with. And she just did what she does all the time. She just go yo-yo and talk whatever she's going on in her life. And I don't think she understood I don't even think, even though she was trying to apologize, that she fully understands how much she hurt and could have damaged the livelihood of Mel in this conversation. Yeah, I don't think she understands that taking responsibility for what has happened and stop blaming it on your mum or whoever. Genuinely apologize and ask forgiveness and how we can move on.
That's it. Now that you said a mouthful right there. Really apologize, ask for forgiveness, and how can I help? How can I undo, if not undo, but how can I make things better?
Yeah.
How can I begin to show you? Because I know you're not going to have trust for me right away, and probably never. Because like for me, like sometimes when people break your trust to a certain level, you're never going to really trust them fully. But maybe if you see enough change over a period of time, you can kind of soften your approach to them. But
Absolutely.
Kiki, she just, I don't know. Kiki's kind of like Miss Screw Up person.
I really hope she turns. I really hope she looks at the situation and say to herself, "Do you know what? I've got a story here, and that I'm going to take accountability for my action. I'm going to apologize, but I'm also going to show Mel and everybody else that what was the real reason of me being on this show, turning my life around, write that book, do this, do that. That's the only way they will respect her and would allow, well, that she can be on a show in a long term if she
Mm-hmm.
turns her life around. But I don't think she's, well, I really hope she's capable enough to do that.
That's an excellent point. I think that Mel doesn't see it that way either. And basically, we see at the end of this scene and end of the episode that Mel is basically saying that she just doesn't have room for Kiki in her life any longer. Like, and I think that's a fair assessment that as people, sometimes as you start to ascend in your career, your profession, financially, uh, spiritually, there are going to be some people that are going to be left behind, because if they're not also elevating, and then they're instead trying to be maybe jealous or trying to destroy what you're building, you're going to have to leave some people behind, unfortunately.
She's just liability and she realized it, so she can't carry it with her.
We got a lot of stuff. It seems like this week's episode really is a good setup for next week on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And a couple of the things that we're going to be talking about, we're going to see next week, is going to be Melody talking to Kimmy. It looks like Kimmy and Tisha about Martell and that revenge corn. You know what I'm talking about, guys? That revenge
Yes.
corn incident. And I guess we're going to get more details, because that was breaking like earlier in real time. We saw that in real time while the show was off the air and they were on hiatus. We saw a lot of stuff on the blogs about that. This man was actually going to take a video that he and his wife recorded, going to release it from an IG page that wasn't his, create a second page, third, fourth, fifth page, who knows, allegedly. And he was going to release this porn because he really wants people to believe that Melody was this big time cheater, as he was allegedly this big time cheater. He does not want this woman to have a good reputation. He gives no thoughts and no ucks about his kids looking at their mother in a very poor light. He doesn't care. He just doesn't care anything about, to me, in my opinion, he doesn't care anything about his children, that he would want to do something like this to his ex-wife, the mother of his four of his kids. So what do you think?
It's going to be really, really interesting because I'm looking forward to see whether these women and men who had a different opinion when they heard the story, the breakdown of the story, and now
Mm-hmm.
that they're going to hear Melanie's side, and hopefully they'll be able to read the reports, would would their opinion change?
Mm-hmm. Oh
That,
yeah, because Nell is saying she doesn't think it's right what Mel did.
yeah,
Mel shouldn't have had him arrested. She should have been a good, quiet black woman.
exactly. Oh my God, that was so sad. Honestly,
Nell, but this is the same Nell though that was wasn't she the side chick for her husband too? Like before they got married? Lord, these women with them old fashioned patriarchal values that just really keep men in charge of women. They are so. I,
I think, do you know what we forgot? I was looking forward to it, but it was really sad that it's not even worth talking about it.
mm,
When Kiki was sitting on a sofa,
mm-hmm.
was it Kiki and her husband came over and she was talking to Stormy? Was it Kiki? And then he comes around and he was going on about how she didn't pay for him to take out another woman.
Oh yeah.
Was that
Yeah.
that?
He said that. He said that, but like they that to me that made both of them look like clowns.
I
He said,
know.
I was like, man, if you don't sit down somewhere, have another bowl of
Um,
cereal, have another bowl
hon-
of cereal.
honestly, it was so embarrassing. I want to know how much money have they been paid for to do that.
Hey, I don't know. I don't know. I
That
guess they say it pays the bills. But listen, but getting back to on next week, we're gonna see Stormy talking to her girlfriend. I don't know the girlfriend's name because she's a new. I haven't seen her before, but Stormy's talking to someone, and she's talking though about calling Marceau itch, but with a B in front of it. I think
Is
that's
that
gonna play out. Yeah.
sorry? Is that her girlfriend or is that her sister? Or she's somebody's sister? She definitely looks like.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think she's a
could
family
be.
member of somebody. She's family member of somebody, from my understanding.
Oh, okay. But that those are
Yeah.
things that we got to look forward to for next week. You
Oh
have
my God.
any more thoughts on it?
I'm really, really looking forward to it. But you know what I'm not looking forward to? Stormy and her husband talking shite in that car.
Oh, that's the other thing. Thank you for reminding me. They're talking
The
about Stormy
surrogate.
as the surrogate and the baby. Yeah, and the baby
Yes.
bouncing around while the surrogate is having hot and heavy time with their husband or whomever. Well, that's the
Oh,
thing that you
that's
have to
how.
be aware of. If you're going to do a surrogate, that's what you have to be aware of. And like there's a contract I'm sure that they're going to sign. So I don't know how that goes. I've never fortunately had to use a surrogate. I have my own children, but I understand that,
Yeah.
women do it for different reasons. I have no problem with it, but we'll get into that, I guess, more next week. But
Yeah,
you know,
I'm really looking forward to that storyline, and hopefully some of them there is a truth to it, because I'm not sure how much Stormy just wants to play at the moment, to be able to have a lamplight. I'm getting that feeling of everything she does at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be exciting.
yeah, I look forward to it. I look forward to having you back here as co-host. And we're gonna shimmy and shake on out of here. You guys go over, make sure you subscribe to Miss Iffy. Let's get her
Oh,
channel up
thank
to
you, ladies.
100. Yeah, thank you guys for dropping the information. But definitely, guys, go over and we're gonna shimmy and shake on how out of here. On that note, let's get the music up. And you want to say bye to all our viewers and you guys watching on the replay. Be sure to smash like too. Okay, right, Miss Iffy?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much, guys. I hope you all have a great week. Happy Monday
Happy
evenings.
Monday. Happy Monday evening and have a great week. Okay, guys. We'll see you back. We'll be back on Sundays next week. So we'll see you then, guys.